Alright, hello everybody, it's Channel Crusher here, back on Lame PokeTuber after a bit of a break. You know, we take breaks sometimes. Anyways, I am here today with an Umbreon GX Decidueye GX deck profile for you guys. Well, Pumpkin was kind of fed up at me for building this deck because he was finding a good Umbreon deck to build, but he couldn't find one. And now I found a perfect one. Alright, I'm loving this deck because I love damage spread. As you know, I used to play Trevenant Break and make a lot of people hate me, but they often just use Hex Maniac and I just lost the match or something. Anyways, so this profile, basically you get Umbreon GX spread damage and Decidueye will stack on damage to finish off that Pokemon on the bench even quicker. But alright, I'll go into more into Umbreon later. Anyways, we have 4 copies of Eevee with the Energy Evolution ability. When you attach a basic energy card from your hand to this Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon that is the same energy type as that energy card and put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it. Then shuffle your deck. The attack crit draw is just not good, but if you really have to use it, then go ahead. 60 HP, 2 retreat. I don't like 2 retreat. But, alright, it's a fine Pokemon. I mean, like, for the ability is really great. Just, even on the first turn you play, you can attach a Dark Energy, search up Umbreon GX from the deck. Boom, done. And yeah. So we also have 3 copies of Umbreon GX here. He is the man of the deck. Well, the main one anyways. Like, yeah, he's the gentleman of the deck. So 200 HP, 2 retreat, weak to fighting, which doesn't really matter right now. Not a lot of fighting going around. And it has a resistance to Psychic. So straight for 1 dark, 30. You may switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon that you don't usually want to be using in this deck, but I guess you could if you need to. Shadow Bullet, 1 dark, and DCE, and yes, we are using DCE 90 and 30 to one of your opponent's bench. As you can see here, we have damage spread, but you're thinking like, hey, Shadow Crusher, that's just 30 damage. It's going to take forever to add up to a KO on that Pokemon. And, well, that's why we have Decidueye GX here. So, 90 and 30, and there's the Dark Call GX for 2 energies, 1 dark, 1 colorless. Discard 2 energy for your opponent's Pokemon. And you can use more than 1 GX attack in a game. So, well, we're not focusing on, like, energy removal in this deck. Well, I would love to, but deck space is a problem. Oops. Yeah, I think we'll just leave the camera like that. Move this over. And, alright, we're fine. So, that is Umbreon GX, our main attacker. It's what you want in the active, hitting opponent's Pokemon while you have 2 copies Rowlet, 2 copies Dartrix, and, of course, 2 copies of Decidueye GX, the man of the deck, not the gentleman though, because he's just too far too far. It is only until very recently, like a day ago, when, well, usually I can't fall asleep at night, I'm just laying on bed, building decks. Like, yeah, that's where a lot of my decks come from, bedtime. Yeah, so this deck came from that as well, actually. So, Feather Arrow, I realized that this Decidueye GX, the Pokemon that I hated in the world the most, could actually become something that I'm going to love. So Feather Arrow, once during a turn, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. That is great. I mean, you may think like I did when I first saw this card, even before the release of Sun and Moon. 2 damage counters, 20 damage, it's not that much, but it's not hard to get 2 Decidueyes out and you're doing 40. And if you've seen Decidueye Plumes play, it's not hard to get 4 out. I mean, okay, 4 is hard, but it's not impossible to get 3 out. They often get 3 out by, like, turn 1. And 60 damage. Next turn, 60 damage. Shaman's gone. They got 2 prizes. Scary. And there's Razor Leaf, 1 Grass Stump, and a double colorless, 90 damage. It's not much. Hollow Hunt GX, well, we don't have any Grass Energy in the deck, so we're not using any of this. But Hollow Hunt, put 3 cards from your discard pile into your hand. It's okay, I guess. 2 retreat costs. So we will be giving this Float Stones. Yeah, so that is that. This is the Pokemon sitting on your bench while Umbreon is in your active. 90, 30, and then you can just turn that into 70. Or if your Umbreon needs extra damage to KO the active in a 2-shot, then feel free to use Feather Arrows to sort that out for your Umbreon. And so, well, that's like the main lineup of Pokemon to mention. The others, like the less important ones, well, I mean, Shaman. I didn't mention Shaman yet, but yes, there's Shaman in the deck. We have 1 copy of Spiritomb. This is a very interesting tech here. Nightmare for 1 dark energy, 10 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. that is, I guess that's okay. If you really have to, you have to like just play out the game with coin flips, try to stall or something. I don't know, but maybe that's when you want to use Nightmare. But no, we're here for damage play. 2 energies, 1 dark, 1 colorless, damage play. Move as many damage counters on your opponent's benched Pokemon, only the benched, not the active, as you like, to any of your opponent's other Pokemon. Which means, let's say your Umbreon GX attacks 90-30. Then later on it attacks again 90-30. And like Feather Arrow just put a load of damage there. Later on they send something out. And you can just use Spiritomb, boom, damage play, move all the damage onto that active Pokemon and KO it. And no one would ever see it coming. Because Spiritomb is pretty much never played. But it's a great tech in this deck. It's very cool. So yes, I considered trying something like a Yveltal EX, Lugia EX just for a quick attack from a basic, easy to set up Pokemon. But I didn't manage to fit that in. It's not really necessary. So we don't have that here. We have 2 copies of Shaman EX. Obviously drawing cards. Oh yeah, and if you would like to incorporate your own Yveltal EX or Lugia EX into this deck because it just suits your style more, you like having this backup attacker, feel free to do so. And well, that's it for our Pokemon lineup, guys. Now we're moving on to supporters. We have 4 copies of Sycamore, draw support, discard your hand, draw 7. 2 copies of N. It's very usual, and just both players, each player shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck. Then each player draws a card for each of his or her remaining prize cards. Typical stuff. We have 1 copy of Birch, not typical. Usually this is the end, but you know my style, or you should by now. Shuffle your hand to your deck and flip a coin. If heads, draw 7. If tails, draw 4. If you draw 4, it could hurt, but I guess 4 is okay. And well, Birch, it's like you don't need to shuffle your opponent's hand away, and you don't need to discard your hand. So that's what I like about Birch. That is why I play Birch. When you versus Seeker for draw supporter, you have more options. We also have obviously 1 copy of Lysander. You could fit another one if you like, but nah, I just play with 1 because I'm just used to 1, and 1 is enough for me. I also have a copy of Professor Kukui. Draw 2 cards, and your Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active for 1 turn. Because, like, sometimes this is what, like, Kukui is the difference between a KO, like a 2-shot and a 3-shot, or a 1-shot and a 2-shot, say on a Shaman. So that is why Kukui is here, and it's very important for this deck because every single damage counter counts. It can change the game. We have 1 copy of Team Fairground, your disruptive supporter of the deck, a utility supporter, like what Dark Indigo Gaming said in one of his guides or something. Whatever. Discard energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So, excuse me. That's our disruptive thing. It kind of complements Dark Hole GX, but I tried to fit in hammers, but it didn't work because there's no space. So Team Flagrant is all we have. You could switch it out for Delinquent if you want, but I just prefer Team Flagrant. Find it more reliable. We have 4 copies of Ultra Ball as usual. Discard 2 from your hand and search your deck for a Pokemon. Put it into your hand. We have 2 copies of Level Ball. You could like add 1 of this, take 1 of this out. I don't know. It's your choice, but I just prefer 2 Level Balls. I think it's enough. Switch your deck for a Pokemon 90 HP or less, reveal it, and put it into your hand. You're searching up Eevee, Rowlet, Dartrix, and Spiritomb. That's quite a lot of stuff there, a lot of useful stuff that you need. We also have 3 copies of Trainer's Mail for consistency. Look at the top 4 of your deck. You may reveal a trainer card there and like put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. We have 4 copies of Versus Seeker as usual. Put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. So this is just used in every deck, 4 copies. I'll be very sad after the rotation like a lot of other people. So you get to reuse all your supporter cards here. We also have 1 copy of Super Rod. Shuffle 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. You could use a Revitalizer here if you like, but Super Rod I find more versatile. But yeah, I think I'd like to fit in a Revitalizer, but I have no idea what to take out right now. So yeah. We also have 1 copy of Special Charge as we are running DCE. And well, some other stuff as well. Hehehe. Anyways, shuffle 2 special energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. We have 2 copies of Floatstone as usual. In like most decks. They have that. So basically the Pokemon gets free retreat cost. And for our main tools lineup, we have, well, to attach to your Umbreon GX, we have your Poison Barb here. So basically when your opponent attacks you and it deals damage to you, they get poisoned, which puts a lot more damage and helps you build up to more comfortable, easy to achieve 2-shot. So you're not always sacrificing your 2 feather arrows on the active Pokemon when you have Poison Barb. And of course, sometimes like we get kind of like we need more speed attaching energies. We have EXP Share to help us with that. So basically, you attach a turn of your bench when your active gets knocked out. You get to move a basic energy, in which this case is a basic dark energy. It like saves you more time, lets you set up more easily, especially early game when your opponent's really speedy. They come out on your second turn, boom, and they're threatening to KO you by the next turn, and you have no time to like attach energies to your benched Pokemon. That's why we have that. For stadiums, we have 1 copy of Reverse Valley, 1 Silent Lab, 1 Parallel City. We all know Parallel City is just too good. 1 side reduce bench to 3, 1 side fire, grass, water Pokemon reduce damage by 20. So this is just too good to miss out of the deck. So that's why it's there. Silent Lab, each basic Pokemon in play in each player's hand and in each player's discard pile has no abilities. So this is just helpful against decks like Volcanion, can really disrupt them. That's why Silent Lab is here. And we have 1 copy of Reverse Valley, 1 side. Metal, they have like reduce 10 damage, mini Hard Charm. And here, it's a mini Muscle Band, basically increase 10 damage. So if you use this, then you're upping, so-called upping. Man, that good English, right? Awesome English. So your damage goes from 90 to 100. If you have Poison Barb, it's gonna stack up even more. So then you can if you have these two, which you often do, well, not often, but it's not impossible to get them out. It's not uncommon. So then you'll be comfortably 2-shotting, and you get to put your Decidueye's damage on the bench, perhaps even build up to a 1-shot. I don't know, I've never tried that yet. Usually I just use Decidueye to like snipe stuff or something. And then there's Spiritomb. It's just a great card. Just come in for the end game or something. If you need to move damage around, you have a lot of damage across the board, Spiritomb is the one that will help you finish the game off. So well, that's it guys for our most of our deck profile for our stadiums. Now for the energy cards, we have 6 copies of basic dark, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yes, you saw that right. That is a copy of the dangerous energy. You could use more if you like, but I don't want to be that because this is risky. They could even enhance hammer this, and I don't like that to happen. We have 4 copies of DCE as well. I'm just going to put down DCE first, then explain to you dangerous energy. So 4 copies of DCE. It's just, well, you know DCE. I only explain actually. Whoops. So as for dangerous energy, when this card can only be attached to a dark Pokemon, it provides dark energy only while this card is attached to a dark Pokemon. Whenever the dark Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon EX, even if that Pokemon is knocked out, put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So this is also something that can fuel up your extra damage to build to a 2-shot. So as you can see here, we have many damage bonuses. We have Kukui, we have Decidueye GX, we have Poison Barb, we have Reverse Valley. It's a bit like one of those old fighting decks where they had Lucario, Muscle Band, Strong Energy, Fighting Stadium, all that stuff to boost your damage. But we were going for a 1-shot, we were going for a 2-shot now. So yeah, but we're comfortably spreading damage everywhere, throwing everything everywhere of Decidueye GX. Oh, sorry about that lighting. Can't do anything about it. This darkness energy has been bathed in light. Wow. Anyways, so that's it for the profile today, guys. And yeah, you're probably asking, are you serious, Channel Crusher? You're playing the Decidueye GX without Forest of Giant Plants. And yes, I've actually thought this over myself before. If I use Forest of Giant Plants, how am I going to even stand the tiniest bit of a chance against the Decidueye Vileplume deck? I'll have no stadium to counter theirs. If I just let them play in their Forest of Giant Plants, evolve up my 2 Decidueyes, and then play in a counter stadium like Parallel City or Reverse Valley, then they have trouble, and they let me set up the stuff I need to set up. So that is why I'm not running Forest of Giant Plants. Not to mention I don't have any with me right now. So yeah, you could try to build with Forest of Giant Plants if you want, but I'm comfortable with this build. I'm loving it. I love throwing damage everywhere and KOing everything across the board. at the same time. So it's been nice to have this video with you guys. We'll see you next time. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share the video, as well as comment on it. And we shall see you next time on the channel.